I'm waiting in my cold cell as the bell.
When the bell begins,
I'm reflecting on my past life.
reflecting on my past life.
Because it doesn't have much time. Now the Republic was hanging by a thread, wasn't it? Because at 5 o'clock, they take me to the gallows pole. The sands of time for me are running low. Not giving a damn is the most important part about doing a radio broadcast. Owen just got back.
You know,
Being
Alex,
besieged by families getting their hot daughters to try to go out with him. He was just telling me during the break. I know that's our problem. Believe me, I know. Everybody wants to be like a little trendy dumbass. Nobody wants that. But seriously, let's talk. There's like, what did you do, 15, 20 videos? How many are on InfoWars?
We did some good work. I think about, 15. Wilson's first trip out with us, one of our new cameramen. So
Did he have fun?
So he did have fun. He did have fun. I think he had a little too much fun. I think I had a little too much fun, too.
You were describing it just like, here's my daughter.
You want to talk about that? Is that
Let's do it. Let's talk about it. Well, no, it's the curse of being a patriot.
No, okay.
It's just women being thrown at you constantly.
So basically we've reached a point in time now where parents are so desperate, I guess, that have these
Don't
daughters
turn that
that are still
camera up. I think an expensive camera. You're like you're a gamelon, like blue skin.
Yeah.
Anyways, go back to the women.
So I guess we're living in a point in time now where parents who have daughters who are in their 20s and are still single and not getting
They come to Trump rallies.
They're worried about.
They come to Trump rallies looking for somebody that's not a cuck.
Yeah, so,
that makes sense.
Basically, I have parents kind of, I don't know if you want to say proposing for their daughters.
Let's just say there's like
it's nice.
They have like tennis machines that shoot tennis balls. That's like women being fired. Boom, boom, boom. You're like, oh my God, stop assaulting me with them all.
It's not quite like that. It's not quite like that.
Because they come over like every 30 seconds.
Is that what it's like for you? Is that why you had to quit going out? Because everyone asks about you. They always ask, "Where's Alex? We want to see Alex. We want to see Alex." I guess that's why you had to stop going out.
No, they have like women on catapults, like firing at me. No, let's be serious. The point is, we don't want to be celebrities. We want freedom. But the party is what we're doing.
Well, let's tie it into this. You said something earlier on the show that really resonated with me. I told you this in the break. The Trump test. You talked about how there's like a test right now with Trump. It was so simple, but it was so perfect. All of these people that we're seeing protesting, these are the literal brainwashed masses. We've been telling you about them. You've been talking about it. We know what's causing it, the fluoride, the mainstream news. We know how it all works, and now we have the byproduct. We can label the byproduct. We can point it out, and we can show you exactly what it is. And that's the Trump test. And who knows if this is God's will or some sort of natural providence, but, I mean, it's really that simple. I mean, think about it, Alex. How can you tell the difference between a human who wants to see humanity go to the stars and he wants to work for it, between a human who wants to sit around all day and accept a welfare check?
No, that's it. It's dehumanization. So talk about your observance. Because I don't know if you were inside. I saw the videos outside.
No, we didn't go inside, no.
But just the speech was so powerful. This destiny, this will, all the job numbers coming in, everything exploding. And then, like, I saw the people bitching. You interviewed, like, Trump's rich and wants to make me poor, when it's the opposite.
Well, and then they literally are parroting fake news or just making things up. They keep saying he's anti-immigrant. He's anti-immigrant. He's anti-immigrant. I ask, what is he anti-immigrant? What has he done that's anti-immigrant? They say the travel ban. That has nothing to do with immigration. They say he wants to build a wall. Okay, that's because...
Exactly, because actual deportations are down because they're not just deporting regular people, they're deporting criminals. But none of that matters. It's just like, oh my God, it's this hell on earth.
So, talking to these people, again, I mean, we've proven it ad nauseum. They have nothing to say. They're fake protesters. They have a fake reality. And that's another thing, too. That's the other part of this test. Who lives in reality and who doesn't? I'm not saying that everybody who doesn't like Trump doesn't live in reality. But these protesters that we're talking to, that we go out, 99% of them don't live in reality. I mean, I don't know what their problem is. I really don't know. Maybe they just have been drinking fluoride their whole life. Maybe they weren't breastfed as a child. Maybe they're just drugged out of their minds with pills. But that's what's going on. And the Trump test is
I think they believe corporate media. They just go with corporate media must be the answer.
But
I'm a loser.
Alex,
so if I join corporate media, I should be a winner.
I asked them, if they like CNN and MSNBC, they say no. What the hell is that?
Well, all I know is, here's the Pope. Pope Francis, look at this article. This is out of Breitbart. Muslim terrorism does not exist. That's a quote.
That's what they say out there. So, yeah.
Here's another one. Angela Merkel says Europe must take more refugees and Islam isn't a source of terror. That's a close quote.
Unbelievable.
I mean, this is like...
That's unbelievable.
This is like saying Santa Claus is real. This is such BS. This guy has 200-foot walls around his house. What is he saying?
So there you go. So the Trump test reaches the highest levels of our society. So it's not just the average folk that are going to Trump rallies, okay? It's also the people in government, the people in religious institutions. What are they saying? What are they saying about Trump? What are they saying about radical Islamic terror? What are they saying about the real news that we know is going on? So we know, okay, the Pope, fake news. Trump test, he failed. Angela Merkel, fake news. Trump test, she failed. And you just go down and down the line.
And everybody knows the corporate media lies. I had like Der Spiegel here, and they go, everyone knows there's extreme vetting and no one who's a terrorist is allowed in. Then they admit the UN does it with fake passports and lets them all in. But Der Spiegel looked at me and said, no, you're wrong. It's like a cult. So why should we roll over to radical Islam? I don't get it.
And someone made the point, too, where it's like most these liberals and these protesters are either they're not religious, they're not very spiritual, or they even hate religion. Some of them just straight up hate religion. But for some reason, they have this infatuation with radical Islam.
I saw the footage in New York. I was there, D.C., everywhere. But putting hijabs on, like getting off on it, it's like...
I mean, I see on Twitter now, everyone's posting videos of women from Muslim countries with their faces burned off from acid and stuff like that when they go out without their husband.
Why are you against it? That's an art performance.
Well, honestly, if it's
we
art,
shouldn't take it like a
actually
meat cleaver to a woman's face. It's liberal.
You know what though? Even though that's kind of sarcastic, there's actually some truth to that. The Satanists view it that way. This is art to these people. This is art to Satanists, Alex. They probably look at that and they enjoy it.
I want to know why you're anti-female. Why shouldn't a woman have a right to have phosphoric acid poured on her face and her nose melted off and have her genitals cut off if it's part of her loving religion at age 2? See, no, I'm serious. Why are you like trying to suppress them when they could be in a slave pit in Somalia, sold on a slave block to a slave ship and raped by hundreds of men a week and then thrown in the ocean eaten by sharks? Isn't that kind of like a liberal cultural experience?
No, like I love women and I don't want to see that happen to any woman. They don't deserve that. Nope.
So throwing a 10-year-old girl who's been raped by 500 men off the back of a boat to be eaten by sharks is not liberal?
Well, look at this, Alex.
Wait a minute. See, that's your cultural racism.
Oh.
Let me tell you something. Hanging a young girl over for sharks to eat her, women deserve to be eaten by sharks under Islam. That's liberal. Why don't you just support it?
That would be the trendy thing to do. The Pope told me to do it. The Pope. Ooh, the Pope. Woo. I love the Pope.
The Pope that looks like a pervert.
Probably is.
He's the guy that blackmailed the last Pope to stand down for stuff in the church, who now openly says it's disgusting that Europe says it's Christian.
But so look at this, Alex. So you're talking about why won't we cuck to radical Islam? Okay, so Sweden has cucked to open borders, and now their country is being torn apart. Their culture is being ruined, okay? Trump, in his speech yesterday, mentions an incident in Sweden last night, and the liberals freak out. They're like, there wasn't anything last night.
Oh, they trolled it. They said, nobody's raping women in Sweden. Muslims never do that. And they trolled him, made fun of his daughters, and they're like, he was a perv. And I think that's good to make fun of. I agree with the liberal media. To make fun of rape victims in Sweden is liberal.
But look, it was almost perfect because now they have to go look up. Now they actually had to look into Sweden. So Trump trolled them into...
No, I agree. Like when he said, you never cover Islamic terror. And then they said, like, no, we do half the time.
Like, oh, it didn't happen last night. It just happened every other night previous to that. Oh, so Trump was wrong.
Owen, please.
Trump was wrong, Alex. He was wrong.
Look, I got Pope Francis right here in an article.
There was nothing last night, Alex.
Muslim terrorism does not exist.
Well, wait, what does Merkel say? I trust her.
She said the same thing. Look, I'm not going to sit here and say, see, I told you so, that communist Chinese-style net censorship was coming to the web, because it's already here. It's being announced. The way you keep the internet open and free is you get involved more than ever. Go to Infowars.com/app. A new battleship in the fight. Infowars Live, available right now. We're looking for a crew to man it. You gonna sit down and play games and be a trendy? or you're going to be part of history. Don't sit by and let the internet and free speech be stolen from you. Take action. Today we call it bone broth, and for thousands of years our ancestors enjoyed its benefits before it became lost to our modern diets of processed junk. We are now introducing Caveman by InfoWarsLife.com, the ultimate in true paleo nutrition with bone broth, turmeric root, chaga mushroom, and 7 total primal superfoods in a single great tasting formula. Caveman. It's those people living in the wilds having to actually build civilization that are our superior ancestors, and we need to do everything we can to recapture that. Everyone knew that you used all the parts of the animal. You used the meat for sustenance, the fat for cooking, but you used the bones for strength. From the outside structure full of minerals and key cofactors to the marrow that produces the blood for the body, this is the engine of the life essence. I'm a long way from the caveman my ancestors were, but I'm sure as hell trying to get back to that essence that made us what we were, and this is a big part of it. I know you're going to want to check out Caveman Ultimate Paleo Formula for yourself at InfoWarsLife.com today.